So December is here, which means two things. It's the last month of 2020, and it's the final month of bullet journal setups for 2020. And today I will be sharing with you my December setup. If I had to describe this setup in 3 words, it would be festive, functional, and bujo. And that's because this month I'm combining a bunch of the functional spreads that I made last month with some holiday planning spreads, as well as some New Year bullet journal setup migration spreads. But before I get into all of that organizational stuff, I have to first start my setup by making my monthly cover page, which I always like to do in my signature hand lettering with a quote that I feel is meaningful to me and is a reminder that I think is important for that month. For this month's quote page, I wanted to pick a quote that was meaningful and also kind of related to this month, which is December. So I picked the quote, "The greatest gifts are not wrapped in paper, but in love." And I just really loved the meaning behind this quote and the perspective that it brought me when I read about it, and the reminder that it gave me to focus less on the objects and more on the people and experiences in your life. So I hope that maybe that resonates with you a bit or gives you a nice little reminder for this holiday season, because it's going to be dark and cold, so we need to hold tight to the people we love. I also want to mention that for this quote page, I just did a video breaking down some tips and tricks that I use when I'm setting these kinds of pages up in my bullet journal. I go super in depth into how to map out the page with a pencil so that everything is centered and aligned. So if you're looking for more instructions on how to do this kind of quote page in your own journal, I would recommend checking out that video, and I'll link it above. But if you're just here to be mildly entertained or for the productivity, we're going to keep on trekking through, and after this spread, we will be going into my monthly calendar. Now I'm going to be moving on to my monthly calendar. I always set up a vertical calendar in my bullet journal. I know it's probably getting boring at this point, but hopefully you can enjoy the new lettering, because we haven't lettered December in 12 months, so that must be exciting. I don't know, maybe. Anyway, maybe I'll throw in a lettering tip here for all of you lettering people out there. When I'm lettering December, one thing I like to think about is the size difference between letters. If you look at the December that I just wrote, as well as goals, I'm making a point to make some letters a lot smaller than others. This is a bit more visible on the December, but with the goals, I'm making sure to make the G and the L and the S a bit bigger than the A and the O. And in the December, I'm making the C, M, B, and R a bit more exaggerated. This just gives a little more visual contrast to the lettering piece and makes it a little more interesting, in my opinion. And yeah, why not? Make it a little fun, right? Then I am going in for my actual content of my calendar, and I'm setting up a vertical calendar. I always separate the weeks in my vertical calendar with a very nice horizontal line. Yes, we love that. And this month I am keeping the goals section blank. Normally I'd add in the subheaders goals, projects, and fun stuff, but I have a lot of projects this month, so I'm just going to write in the headers once I'm writing down those things so that I don't run out of room. Next, we are moving on to what I am officially calling my tasks and projects spread. This was a spread that I kind of revamped and came up with last month, and it has been so immensely helpful in keeping my life organized and on track that I just had to redo both this spread and my notes and habits spread that I created last month. The way I think about these two spreads that you'll be seeing now, the task spread and the note spread, is I think of them as kind of expanded versions of the original vertical calendar from the bullet journal. This task, due dates, and project spread is a place for me to write down all of my actionable related items. I keep my personal tasks here, I keep my university tasks here, my YouTube tasks here. I also write down my due dates for grad school. There are going to be a lot in December, so I'm mentally preparing right now. And I also like to keep track of the projects that I have going on, and I use this space as a bit of a rough timeline for when the project is being worked on, so I can see kind of a general overview of when I'm doing work on multiple things. I also want to mention that it's okay not to change up your bullet journal layouts every month if you like what you're doing and if it works for you. I know it's more interesting in videos to see different things every month, but I really want to show you guys what my bullet journal actually looks like, and I don't want to change up a spread just to make up something new for the sake of doing it for a video. So I hope you can understand that, you know, it worked last month, so I want to do it again this month, and that's kind of the way it's gonna go. But I hope that can give you a really authentic look into what my journal actually looks like and how it actually evolves. Alright, next we are moving into the also officially named Habits and Notes spread. So kind of like the spread that I did previously, instead of this being a home base for tasks and kind of to-do list stuff, this is a home base for all of the other stuff, which for me is my habits, my notes, and then also my list of monthly accomplishments. Actually, I'm really glad I started doing this monthly accomplishment list because it'll be really nice to look back on when I'm coming up with my 2020 highlights and also reflecting on the year and looking at what went on. So although this list was kind of created just for fun, one random month, just to kind of fill up space, to be honest, I'm actually really glad that I made it, and it's been something that's been really nice and positive in my journal. Okay, so now that we have those basic kind of capstone spreads out of the way, our productivity is taken care of, and now I need to jump into some holiday spreads because Christmas is coming and Toronto might be going into lockdown, which means I need to get my butt organized on Amazon so I can order my gifts before they do not come in time for Christmas. So that is why I'll be making this gift shopping list to keep track of the gifts that I'm giving to my family, how much the gifts cost so I can kind of budget how much I want to spend on each person, as well as if I've actually purchased and wrapped the gift. So I'm just going to write that kind of longhand in a list here, and then I might use the other side of the page to write my own personal Christmas wish list. Alright, finally, I am making this spread because I'm beyond excited for my 2021 Bujo, and I could not wait until the end of December to make this. So this is my 2021 bullet journal migration mind map of destiny. And for this spread, I'm making it super simple. It's actually kind of inspired by the self-care tracker I made in September. I'm writing Bujo migration in the middle, and then I'm using these lovely flourishes to separate sections where I'm going to write down the things that I want to keep from my previous setup in the new journal, things that I want to not bring with me into the new journal and remove from my setup, things that I want to add into the new journal, and then things that I need to kind of modify and change. So I'm really excited to kind of have this guy set up so I can write things down when my mind remembers to, and then I won't forget any spread ideas that I think of. Alright, 25 spreads later, that is my bullet journal setup for December. Sometimes I think that the reason why I like to minimalist journal is because I like to set up 15 spreads and I don't want to spend 3 hours doing it, but Who knows? Maybe it's just because I like lettering and nothing else. Anyway, I hope that you found this video helpful, inspiring, or at least mildly entertaining. And if you're still hanging out with me, thank you so much for watching. I hope that this holiday season is a good one, and I hope that it's not too hard. I know it will be really difficult for a lot of people, so I'm sending you my best wishes. And besides that, I will see you guys in the next video. I have a lot of really fun stuff coming, so I'm really excited, and I hope you are too. All right, well, that is all for me. I will see you guys later.